To
Hello.
finally be here.
Yeah. Sorry.
I still love you, Nick.
I'm glad.
Oh, why?
It's all right. Everybody knows I'm fucking unorganized.
Now
So
we
we're gonna
do.
put the yeah. I think it's been fairly evident. Um. So Jason, we
Yep.
have booked you twice when I had somebody else booked. Because I'm just organized. So tell us, what is it you do?
Yeah, that's a good question. Well, what pays my bills is like I do websites and online marketing and like digital marketing. But I also like create a lot of side projects and kind of help people get ideas off the ground, which is
Okay.
which is my sort of love and passion for life.
Okay. How did you end up doing that? I mean, is it like have you been doing web
Yeah.
development for decades, or what's been going on there?
Well, I actually started life as a pastor at a church, and I still love you. And so, but in that process, like, so half my family are like pastors and in ministry, and the other half of my family own businesses, which is where that Volkswagen sign's from.
Okay.
And so I kind of grew up in both worlds. I really like people. I like helping people, and thought that going into being a pastor was the kind of the way to do it, how to do it, and never really thought about being an entrepreneur. But as I was like, 4 years full time into being a pastor, um, everything I was doing was like I had all these side projects. Like early 2000, we did a internet radio we called Worship Vibe, and we figured out how to do it for $150 a month. We had a 24-hour day radio station that me and my buddy did, and like we were quoted $6,300 a month to do what we figured out how to do for $150. Um, and so it was during that time that I started, like, we just started doing stuff. Didn't really think about it. A group of us decided we wanted to climb Mount Baker just as like a side gig, just for fun, and we trained and climbed Mount Baker in Washington. Well, actually, we never made it, but it was fun nonetheless. Anyways, that's kind of where I got started, and then looking back, like over my life, you just started seeing like all the things I did as a kid, just lots of like side hustles and garage sales, and we made our own sports leagues, and we do just all kinds of stuff, and yeah, and then my wife and I had our first kid, and we just decided to leave the city and the church that I worked at, and kind of go into this full time, and
Cool.
that's how
What year
that's
was
where it
that?
started. Well, so I accidentally started doing web and marketing because I was the youngest guy at the church, and they're like, you must know how to turn on a computer, and that was like the late 90s. But I'm from the mountains in BC, like part redneck, and would I never like owned a computer, but I had some natural skill, and then being a pastor, you get paid like buck an hour, so you start taking side jobs, and people start asking you for a logo, and I was just good enough that they're willing to pay, and did a lot of video in the early 2000s too, and then 2004, end of 2004 is when my son was born, and is when we moved, and my wife had a really good um, job, and so her maternity leave was actually more money than I was making. It gave me a year-long runway to make make it work, and so I did. Basically, we moved to a smaller city and took that year to make it work. So that was 2005.
Okay.
Nice.
Nothing like
The
pressure.
Yeah. Well, I mean, a year's a pretty good. That is a pretty good runway. That is a pretty good time to be able to, if you can get that far
Yeah.
to grow something. That's more than a lot of people have.
Yeah.
When Clay was talking about what happened to him, I mean, He lost his job. They had to pay everything. They were living on credit cards until he could start generating revenue. That's, I think, even more stressful than, you had some income coming in.
Yeah, I did have some income coming in, yeah.
Yeah. So, and
but knew it was running out, so I had to
yeah.
had to scramble.
You can't coast.
No.
You were definitely on the timer there.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, gosh, I can't imagine how stressful it is because that's new baby and new job and your own business. Dude, I barely survived a new baby.
And new city.
Oh, and new city.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And we had no family around either. We left family.
Wow.
So we were it was a lot of pressure, but I don't mind pressure. I'm pretty good with stress, so I mean it was fine. I didn't really it wasn't even I didn't really even compute in my mind that it was going to be an issue. It was sort of like a foregone conclusion that it would work. Maybe I was a little naive, I'm not sure, but yeah.
Being naive is probably one of the, I mean, if you're naive about that, it doesn't create the self-doubt that can I do it? I mean, if you're naive about some stuff, it's not a terrible thing to be dealing with.
No, not at all.
So,
who was your first big client? The one that you said, okay, this is going to work.
Oh, I don't know that I had one big client, but I just had a lot of clients. And I mean, I was way underpricing everything I did, so I had to get a lot of clients.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't really start getting big clients for probably 2 years after I started, and yeah, and then I started getting some really big clients, and I actually realized I don't like working with big clients. I kind of like the small to medium, and I love ideas, and I never really started my business anyways to be in the web design business. I actually started it because I had this music idea, because I told you about that online radio we did. What I saw with the musicians back then was they had no ability to market and sell themselves, and so I wanted to basically learn web design and create my own platform to help them do that. I ended up partnering with a guy here locally, and anyways, it ended badly and didn't really go anywhere. But so doing web design it's really been my day job for me. Why I do lots of side projects all the time and experiments, and yeah.
I mean, you've got a couple. Looking at your profile, you got a couple side projects that are active.
Kinda, yeah.
So you got your web company, and then you've got, was it Ook? What's the Ook?
Yeah, so Ook is a local art and culture site that I've been running for 5 years here in Kelowna.
Okay.
It runs itself. People post events, and I just usually hit approve, and then they'll send me press releases, and I'll post. This summer's been busy, so there's been a few months that I haven't. But yeah, so that one's ongoing. We're starting one here in a couple weeks called Unbranded, which is collaborative marketing for local business, like a local media site. I have a fishing website I run, bcfishing.com. That's actually quite successful. I bought a website that for the town I grew up in. It is the ugliest website on the planet, but it actually it's my highest traffic site and makes me the most money. But it's seriously ugly. Yeah. Last year wasn't a great year in my life, but the year before that, I had a girl working with me, and our goal was to start 2 side projects a month. We wanted to do 24, 25 in a year. We started a clothing company, and started a whole bunch of media companies. Did a pay what you want website campaign. We sold 26 websites in 5 weeks. Yeah, did kind of whatever came to mind. We just started another local magazine. And yeah, actually doing all that, even though I was like, had so many things going, I made more money that year than I had in a long time, which I will challenge, for me personally, will challenge the one focus mindset any day. Like I
Yeah.
work way better when I got, 2 or 3, 4 things going on at a time.
Oh, yeah.
I think so. And just to speak on that just for a second, I love that actually, because we've actually caught just a little bit of tension in some of the groups where it's like, no, just focus on what you sell and you'll make more money. And the way I explained it to the last guy, I was like, it's not really about money. It's almost
No.
about time management. It's about something to do with my brain beyond what you think I should do with my brain. It's just something better to fill my time with, and I have a ton of fun doing it.
Yeah, totally. Well, like the fishing site that I run with my buddy, he's the expert. I just go fishing when he invites me on his boat. But like, for him, it's like he's become a mini celebrity now. He goes out in the water and people recognize him, and he'll go out to a restaurant. Him and his wife are like they're mini celebrities. People know who they are. It's pretty cool, and he loves it. Like, giving him kind of a lot more energy and new lease on life, right?
Now, the fishing site, is it like kind of like reviews of like poles and reels or fishing spots, or like what kind of fishing site are you?
It's just a lot of like tips and advice, and then we're working on a course right now, how to fish for kokanee, and and we have a really great community that people share their fishing stories and their secret spots, and yeah. Though I got a funny, we posted an article on how to fish like this one spot in this river in BC here, and we actually had to get the police involved because of like death threats. It was like insane. I know my buddy was like, he's like, fishermen are crazy. I'm like, kind of like didn't really believe him. And then this guy was like literally like threatening on coming to his house and killing his wife. And he's like, I know where you live. And it was serious enough because we were getting other calls from other people saying, hey, you guys need to be like, this guy's like serious, like legit. He's been known for assaults, and you guys need to take this serious. And we had to like call the police, and police visited his house. And anyways, it was the end of that. But man, who knew? Fishing.
That is crazy. Now, was that because of you gave away his honey hole, or was it because like he was as close to his property, or what was it?
No, it wasn't even. It was like it's like on the other side of the province, but it was one of his favorite fishing spots, and we were just teaching people how to fish properly there, and like in a way that was like all like we're pretty big on conservation too. And so, anyways, he was just pissed and didn't want people fishing there. Yeah.
Buddy.
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, so if I show up there, you gonna take me out fishing?
Sure.
Because I'm looking at these fish and I want to catch some of those.
Oh yeah, man. It's not even like going out with my buddy. It's not even fair to the fish.
Yeah,
like we'll be out there for an hour, and we've caught our limit, and then we'll go to another lake, catch our limit there, and then come back to the first lake, and guys haven't even caught one fish yet. Yeah, it's awesome. It's fun.
Like, I love to fish, but it's like golf. I love to do it, but I totally suck at it. Usually I'm just sitting there drinking beer with something in the water.
Yeah, sounds about me, like me.
That's hysterical.
So how did BC Fishing start? What happened? How did that?
Yeah, so Danny's the guy partner with BC Fishing. He's the expert, but he actually started it. And a mutual friend reached out to me saying, hey, my buddy's Danny's site's been hacked and he needs help fixing it. So I went in and fixed his hack for him. And then I started looking at his content and stats, and he was getting crazy stats back then. We later found out it was just bots and some like part of the hack. But anyways, he was he'd been running a couple years with not a lot of success. Didn't really understand the marketing, but was giving like great tips and advice. And I said, hey, what if we partnered together and I help you with the marketing side of things and help build your community, and we just split basically everything 50-50, and I'll redo your site. And he's like, yeah, sure. So he paid me for the hack, which was nice. And then from there we just partnered, and yeah, it's been pretty organic. Like we've maybe spent $50 in marketing, but like he got a pretty big discount on a boat, like, and we get tons of gear, and we've made a good amount of money on the site as well through ads. And it's been really great. Like last year, 2.8 million people saw all of our stuff.
Wow.
Through Facebook, our newsletter, plus our website, and all of it, like all the channels combined.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we get our engagements through the roof. Like we get tons and tons, and we don't have a group. We just have our page. We often get 100% engagement on stuff, and
Wow.
yeah, it's those fishing guys are crazy though.
Well, it's anytime you can create an audience around a community of something that people are passionate about, if you can get that audience's attention, that community's attention, you've got it.
Yeah.
I think that kind of goes into the power of the niche.
Right.
Yep.
And we also defined our values really clearly and really a lot, like early on, which we're all about conservation. We're all about family and making fishing fun. We find a lot of the people in the fishing community are like really uptight and, well, like death threats, right? Like it's crazy. And we, because of the family, the fun, and the conservation, we're like, we want to make it a sustainable sport for generations to come, and that really resonated with a lot of people. And so we never took ourselves seriously. It was funny, one of the things that started really growing our community was we started doing a Sunday comic every week. Every Sunday we did and just making fun of ourselves and just finding random funny things, and that's literally what started growing it. People liked the comic and started sharing, and then they come back, and then the content's really good, and they started sharing that, and yeah, it's just kind of grown from there.
Okay,
that's awesome.
That kind of answered Todd's question. He said, "What do you guys do to fuel that engagement fire? Is it organic, or are you sparking it the way you're posting or asking or participate?" So that kind of answers.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So you have those. Then what's Red Mill Creative is your web, your company, right? In the chat we had when we were talking about bringing you on, you said you were looking at blowing up your business. So you're just kind of looking at things and going, I don't like the way this is working, or what's going on? What are you doing with that?
Well, I never got into doing web design and marketing for doing it for other businesses. I have no training. Like the only schooling I've had is to be a pastor. Like if you guys want me to come preach on Sunday, like I'm available, right? So I was just all self-taught, but I learned it because I wanted to do other things. And I mean, I don't want to get into my whole life story, but basically 2008-9, when the crash happened, like my life took a pretty dark turn for a long time. And so I just started doing web design and like just to pay the bills, really. And then through the last couple of years, we've been doing more experimenting and trying to figure out what I really wanted to do. And so now I'm at a place where life sort of balanced out. I also have 6 kids too. Right. And I work from home. We also homeschool. So life's like pretty busy and crazy. And so it's just been a lot of figuring that out, like actually how to do life with all of that together. And so now I'm at a place where I actually feel like I can. And so I'm still going to do web design, but we're creating a lot more like local media sites. Like we have 2 local media sites that we're starting in the next month or 2 months. And I really want to help people. Like my big goal in life is I want to help as many people start something they love, and it doesn't have to be like for a full-time job, but just like a side project, or help them do it, because I think like half the craziness in the world is people are bored and they're just picking up fights that they don't even care about.
Yeah.
You know, like if everybody had a side project, I think the world would be a far better place.
Well, our grandpas had side projects.
Totally, they did.
Our grandpas were building houses by hand with their neighbors and shit.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, they were.
What do? We fuck around on video games and the internet and watch Netflix all day long.
Yeah.
So I can appreciate that. I'm looking at your profile, just stalking you a little bit. What is Unlocked Talks? You got a lot of side hustles.
Oh, you wouldn't. I'm not even like. I won't even list them all. There's so many that you won't even find. Yeah. So Unlocked Talks was. So my buddy was getting his coaching license, and we like I'm just a dreamer, and I just think, and I'm like, let's just do this, and it's basically my thing, right? And I don't really think about the consequences of anything, but like, and so the one thing that we noticed, coaches are terrible at marketing, like terrible at marketing, and they don't, and most coaches like statistically can't make a living at at being a coach. And so we thought, hey, my buddy's just starting, why don't we start this like coaching platform so there's Unlocked Talks and Unlocked Magazine. So the idea with the magazine was that people could, like almost like medium.com, they could post their own articles and we would help them promote those to the rest of the world. So we started with that and we got like pretty good response early on. And then we started this Unlocked Talks where we're like, why don't we do like an online summit for coaches to help them, learn how to market their business and grow their business. And like we reached out, a couple of those speakers are like the top coaches in the world. Like people just didn't say no to us. We had like one no, I think, of everybody we got on the list. Sarah was one of our guests.
I'm looking at it right now, and at first I thought you were talking like baseball coaches or some shit. And then I looked at the website.
Sorry, life coaches and
and business coaches and stuff. And I was like,
and I've been telling Nick that when I become a life coach, I'm just going to Photoshop my head on everybody else's pictures, and we're just going to run with it. I'm just standing in front of Maseratis because it doesn't matter if it's yours.
No,
it just has to be a picture, right?
Yeah.
I don't want like the cheapest, like worst Photoshop I can get to. It'll just make me
Fiverr.
Yeah.
Hey, that's a hustle too, man. Can't knock those guys.
The work they do, I can knock.
Some.
That video on
the quality, not the what they're doing.
Our explainer video on Unlocked Talks was a Fiverr video. $30. Watch it. It's actually incredible for what he made for $30. Like, it was awesome.
Yeah, I know. I'm looking at it. Yeah, I remember when those were all the rage. Those pen videos. Now we'd say, don't do that shit. Go pay Mike.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but I can't. At $30 though, it's pretty cheap.
Yeah.
And
Unlock. I'm gonna look up Unlock Magazine. Is that site up?
Yeah, it's just sitting there.
So I've been tagging Mike Doyle on startup videos. Be like, will you please hire Mike Doyle at Drive 80 Studios?
Nice.
One was like this couples box, and it was bad. It was definitely a Fiverr video. I'm like, and it had porno music for the background music. I'm like, and it wasn't that kind of couples box. It was like a date box, like ideas to do for your date, for like couple date night for married people, for old people like us.
So Jason, you were talking about the website you have that's ugly, but it makes you the most amount of money. When you're doing web stuff, does it ever like drive you crazy when somebody's like, but I want it to look like this, and they just know
for sure
of conversion?
Yeah, and it's like it's an ongoing fight, right? Because like what's the main goal of your client's website? Right. And sometimes I'll show them that site and be like, this site gets more traffic than all my pretty sites. Like, what would you rather have, right? And so, yeah, it helps me win arguments sometimes. You can see it if you want, crescentvalley.com.
Looking at it.
Hey, wow, you're finding lots of stuff.
I'm pretty
It's
good.
almost scary. He's baby FBI. That's what the B stands for. Baby.
Yeah, I could.
Here's
Well,
something
that's
that
how I got into IT. I'm just better at Google than most people.
All right. Hey, so check out one project I did called Red Mill Propaganda. It's just
Yes.
a bunch of years ago.
Todd dropped a quote: "If it's stupid and it works, it's not stupid."
No, that's true.
That was a Nick Berry quote.
If it works and it's stupid, it's not stupid. That's me.
Yeah.
So when I was first starting my business, we were like trying to figure out how to market us differently, and we were like, because coming up with my name, Red Mill Creative, we're like, one of the guys was like, man, that sounds communist, right? And so we're like, we should start a magazine called Propaganda, just as a joke. And then a year later, about a year or so later, we decided to actually do it. And the whole idea behind it was we just have a download PDF where we would just put like our latest projects in, a couple marketing tips, and then we took it a little farther and said, well, why don't we put some advice from some of our clients? So emailed a bunch of our clients and ended up our first issue was 60 pages.
Wow.
And not only that, but so then we're like, okay, well, this thing's like becoming a little bigger than we thought. So we ended up creating its own website. And we actually ended up on that first issue, the next day, our server crashed from all the downloads. And we ended up getting featured in a British design magazine as one of the top 10 blogs to watch. And it was like this crazy idea. And if you download them, they're my buddy designed them, but I went and interviewed homeless guys for wisdom. So I'd go out on the street and ask guys for, just dating advice, money advice, marriage advice. We have random recipes. It's so random, but we were getting 3,000 downloads a month for years. Even we only did 4 issues. I still get 50 plus downloads a month on it. And it's just been sitting there.
And it's called just Propaganda?
Yeah, redmillpropaganda.com.
Red Mill Propaganda.
Yeah.
I'm looking at I'm looking at issue 2 right now.
Yeah, and we did wing reviews, and the PDFs don't work anymore, but there's embedded videos in there. There's a poo story in there that's absolutely hilarious. Yeah, we did all kinds of stuff just randomly, but those 4 issues got me so much work in the coming years. It's why I've never finished my website. People are like, what can you do? I'm like, here's one project, and they're like, oh, that's great. Let me work with you.
That's all it takes sometimes.
Yep.
Now, what's your primary method for prospecting? Are people coming to you? Do you go out to people? How do you go about finding clients, especially in those early years when you were newer and fresher and didn't have that name behind you?
Yeah, so I just met and went out for coffee with everybody. I've never finished my website, ever. Now it's probably the nicest it's ever been. I actually have my latest project up there. So, but it was a lot of just networking. Even now still, I still do a lot of networking with people, just go for coffee. Yeah. And early on I partnered, I got some overflow work from people, and but then the other thing is I just stuck around longer with people. So I've inherited 5 businesses over the years. Guys that couldn't make it, they're like, do you want all my clients? I'm like, sure. And so it's just, sometimes you just got to last longer than the next guy, right?
Yeah.
And so I've got a lot of work that way. But mainly it's just talking to people, going out for coffee, asking if I can help, doing free stuff for people, and then they tell other people, and then I get an email. I get an email probably every week for somebody wanting a site. Just, hey, I heard about you. Like somebody recommended you. Yeah.
That's
But I
pretty
mean,
cool.
yeah. I mean, I want to change that, like, um, for myself, because I actually want more than just me and part-time help here and there.
Yeah.
So kind of like, that's part of like what I'm working towards, not necessarily for my red mill business, but for everything else. Yeah.
Awesome.
I like it.
So we're asking 2 questions of our guests from now on. You get to be the first one. Of course,
Yeah,
we
because
always ask, what's your definition of hustle?
Yeah, I knew you were going to ask me that, so I've been thinking about it. Like, so I think like I kind of have 2 definitions of hustle. One is just like, hustle is like a verb, like you just gotta, it's just doing what needs to be done no matter what. But my other definition is, it's like the hustle is the thing that you love to do that you will sacrifice everything else that you're doing to do it. Like it's that side project that you've always loved. You love golfing and you decide to create a website and you know give people tips, or it's like fishing and you create the fishing website and give people tips. And to me, like that's the hustle. It's just doing the thing that you love and be willing to sacrifice, other things, watching Game of Thrones or going to the movies because you love doing what you're hustling, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. The other is, if there's one tool your business could not run without, what would that be?
One tool. My Starbucks card. I don't know.
You guys have
Like,
Starbucks there? That's awesome. We don't even
oh
have.
yeah,
Well, we do in the grocery store.
nice. Yeah, I don't know. It's funny. I'm really struggling with all my tools right now. Like, because I've been using Trello like as a tool for a long time, and it's just kind of things are sort of breaking down and not working as well. Um, yeah, I'd probably have to say something like my laptop, I guess, or something that like I work probably 2 hours every couple days in a coffee shop, and you just meet random people, right? Just being out there. Business cards suck. Hang on one sec. So can you see that? We made these little things for, oh, there we go, propaganda. We handed out thousands of them, and they were like probably the best marketing tool ever. And even today, like I'll have them I use them as bookmarks, and people are like, "Well, what's that star thing?" I'll give it to them, and then they go and look, and they're like, "Oh, it's cool," and they message me later. So I give that out more than my business card, even now, even though that thing's been done for years, like 10 years almost.
It's spectacular.
I don't know. It doesn't really answer your question very well, but
Hey,
yeah.
we're asking. We got to tweak the question, I think, a little bit. If there's something, so you use Trello. You using that for project management, basically?
Yeah, I use it for everything, like my CRM, project management. I have a whole like board for just
God,
random ideas.
your Trello boards have got to be a mess. That's
They're
why
actually,
I don't like Trello, because it
yeah.
just gets crazy every time I look at it.
So I've had to create a system within Trello that works really well. So I've got a whole bunch of templates that I use, and then every time I create a template, I basically copy the link to that board into another board that links out all my projects, and it works really well. But it's not great for a CRM, and it doesn't have alerts. Like I like it, but my team doesn't. So time to find something else.
Yeah, I think in WordPress Innovator, Lee Jackson's group, there was a pretty good discussion about CRMs in there, and like
Yeah, well, Zoho 1 is what he recommends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Zoho's got a steep learning curve. Where I'm at right now, we use HubSpot, which I like it because I can call through it. It's one
Okay.
platform for everything. I can call, email, build my contact lists, my call lists, and all that stuff. Doesn't have texting built into it. If it had texting built into it, it'd be my perfect CRM. As an outbound call salesman. But for a digital agency, I can imagine why people. I mean, Zoho's got a lot of that stuff. I think Clay said he uses Asana, which I've never liked, which is more of project management.
Yeah, I hate Asana. It like stresses me out. Like I look at it, I'm like, where am I supposed to go? Like I hate it. Like I just won't. Everybody recommends. I hate it.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
What's the other? Was it 7 hats or 9 hats or something like that?
Yeah, 17 hats.
17
I don't
hats.
like it either. You know, the reason why I like Trello is because it's just easy to organize everything in my head and get it out and move stuff around, right? But yeah.
When I was introduced to Trello, it was kind of more mind mapping than anything else for me when I was introduced to Trello. And it's hard for me to get these big concepts that other people use these tools for. So sometimes it's just I don't get it.
Yeah, and that's my problem. Like I have these ideas and like I end up using paper. I use a lot of paper. Like lots of paper. But it doesn't work well when like I don't have my team or like not in my office with me, right? So you got to take it and then put it digitally somewhere. And then the question is, where do you put it?
Yeah.
Well, that's the one reason I still carry an iPhone. The company gave me this Android. The one reason I still carry an iPhone with me is because Evernote's scanning app is only available on iOS.
Oh, I love Evernote. That's another one I use.
Yeah, I use Evernote. I use the crap out of Evernote. Todd gave me a link to a power tools for Evernote, or how to use like the power versions of Evernote, and I'm like, I'm never gonna leave Evernote now. Because I was getting frustrated with it.
Well, the note clipping is phenomenal in Evernote. Like you're on a website and you read something, you're like, man, I need to save that for later, and you just clip it and it saves in your Evernote. And then I've got Michael Hyatt has a really great way to organize Evernote, and so it's just like
I think one of them.
Yeah, so I have 4 folders and everything's tagged. I have 600 tags. You know, like it's ridiculous, but the system works really well. I base it off of Michael Hyatt's organization system, and like it's literally like my brain for notes. But the same thing.
I use Evernote for my Instagram posts. I'll do it. I'll create it on the PC. I'll drop it into Evernote, and I can download it on my phone and post it through there.
Oh, nice.
Without losing resolution.
That works.
Yep. Awesome. So, you fish. You like to fish with your friend.
Yeah.
So you got 6 kids.
6 kids.
6 kids. You're about my age, because you said when did you graduate from college? 2000 or like 99?
No, I graduated from Bible College in 98. So yeah, I'm 42.
Yeah, I turned 39 next week, so yeah, we're about the same age.
Yeah.
Then we got the baby boy up there.
Yeah.
Infant child. It's okay.
How old are you?
I'm 29. I'll be 30 next year. 30 June next year.
Well, you know what's interesting? Like my wife and I we have a couple married friends that we hang out with, but I like hanging out with 20-year-olds better than 40-year-olds. And you know what it is? It's like, you know, hopefully not too many friends watching this, but like, it's like when you get in your mid 30s and you hit like 40, you stop. It's like people stop dreaming, they stop risking, they stop doing stuff. They're kind of settled into their families, their careers. They probably having kids, and just not how I think. I mean, I got 6 kids, and I'm still like, I'm always putting what we're doing at like risk. My wife doesn't work, so and I relate probably more to younger people who are still willing to risk or have the ability to risk, anyways, than most, right?
And I can appreciate all the side things you do. If you have an idea, you try it, you work it out. I appreciate that. In 2015, I got rid of all but 2 domain names. It was a total of 29 domain names that I had in my GoDaddy account.
Yeah,
and
you don't
all
want
of
to
them,
know.
and all of them had websites.
Nice.
That I pretty actively I'd see an idea somewhere. I'm like, I can do that with this industry, and I'm gonna try it, and I'll throw $300 at it until I learned how to use Facebook advertising. And I was like, I don't need to do all this stupid shit. I can just do one thing. But
yeah.
So how many? So is it going to cause marital problems if you disclose how many domain names you own for personal projects?
No.
Okay.
Here's, for anybody who's single, you got to marry somebody who, and if you're like wanting to take risks, you got to marry somebody who lets you do that. So my wife married me she actually married me as a pastor. So she had this expectation that we'd be poor, which is like great, right? But then she's always okay with me risking and doing what I want to do because she knows it's what I love, and she would rather me do that than be stuck working at a job I hate. And so I have like almost 100 domain names that I own that, and they don't all have websites, but at one point they did.
Yeah, I remember at one point I had to the host I was using forced me to get a co-located server because I was taking up so much. I was taking up so much bandwidth. My ex-wife was not happy when I had to pay that bill the first time.
Yeah, we took in 2007, I think, 5, 6. Yeah, I took a pretty big leap at a really big project that I'm still paying for. But yeah, no, I know what it's like to have big bills.
Well, and that was when that happened. I just discovered Reddit, and I had this life hack website.
Oh yeah.
And I kept posting the life hacks in Reddit, and Reddit kept hugging my server.
Oh.
Like, bad. It was great for ad revenue.
Hey, just sorry, my daughter's like.
No problem.
You're on TV. Come talk to me in a minute. She's number 5. Yeah, I did.
Why did you?
Kids have no boundaries.
Nope.
No.
That's why I love them. Oh, my 4-year-old the other day, her mom was asking.
Hang on.
About her family. Okay. No problem.
No, I think she's good now.
Her mom was asking about who's in her family. So it's got my girlfriend and her kids and my other daughter and me and her. And then her mom asked, is Boston, our cat, in the family? And she goes, no, I don't like the cat. She's not in her family.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, Ivy that you just saw, she's like our crazy one. My wife went for a walk and she decided to follow her. And she left the house, and some lady from a couple blocks away, and I don't know, like, who I didn't meet, brought her back, and she's like, "Is this your child?" I'm like, "Yeah, thanks." Oh, yeah. There's some other things that she's done that I can't share publicly because I'd probably get the calls showing up at my door. Well, actually, they've already showed up at my door, but I'd probably get them again. Oh yeah.
So Jason, if you had somebody coming to you and they were wanting to start a business and they want to start a website, what is the biggest piece of advice you could give them before they spend their life building a website?
Just find your first client. Don't even do a website. Just get a client. I mean, I'm at 10 years. I haven't finished my website. Just like I'm a web designer. Just get a client. Get them to give you money.
That's right.
And then build a website. But don't even do that. Like then go to Facebook and build a community. Then especially if it's a side hustle. If it's a side hustle, build a community and then build your website and then make the jump if you're trying to get out of your job or whatever.
I like it.
You were talking about building a community in your fishing group, and it sounds like a lot of what you do is based around communities, which Nick and I are firm believers in. So now, taking that same question from the newbie on the website, what's the first step to building a community?
I think it's funny. It might sound really simple and like obvious, but I think it's just inviting people to it. Like I think sometimes like it's. I mean, there's a lot you got to do to build the community, but I think people like an invitation. Like because it makes them feel like there's something they're special, and so if you just invite people to it, then you got to find out what they want and are they even the right people for the community.
Right.
But I think just like invitation's a really powerful thing when you're doing something, and we actually we put that to the test when we were doing the unlock talks. Like we just said, hey, who are the biggest people in this industry, and would they even respond to an invitation? And they totally did, and we were like shocked. And so to build a community, I think you just need to start inviting people, and people will tell you whether or not they're gonna show up. They'll show up or they won't, and then the people that show up, then you ask them, well, what do you guys need? How can I help? And then you just deliver from there.
Yeah. Well, that's what we're actually doing with Hustle Labs. The group we have attached to the page. Basically, it's a group that you're in it now. And just want to we want to have people come in, find out what we're about, find out the people that we hang out with are about, and see how we can help them. Either connect them with people like you or Clay or Todd or Sarah or some other business, and help people. And that's, I think, and I have to invite people. You have to open your mouth. I'm a salesperson. I mean, I make 60 to 100 phone calls a day. I like to talk. I have no problem talking. I had a lady today. She goes, "It takes a lot." She literally said, "It takes a lot of balls to do what you did today. That's why I'm going to send you a referral."
Nice.
So you just have to open your mouth. Don't be afraid. If somebody says, "No, I don't want to join," or you add somebody to their group and they get pissed off about it, fucking kick them out.
Yeah.
They see you later.
Totally.
Don't go and invite. Like, I've got almost 1,000 friends. I'm not going to invite 1,000 friends, all 1,000 of my friends, to our Hustle Labs.
I mean, maybe 999, 1,000.
985 probably, because there's a couple people in there that are just in there for personal comic relief, watching their shit show.
Yeah, for sure.
Jason, you're a community and group guy. What do you think is the biggest misstep when people come into a group? I mean, essentially trying to sell them or jump into the community and kind of like force them into it. What's the biggest misstep?
It's funny. This is where like all my church experience comes into play a lot, and it's like it's not acknowledging that they're there. Like, once they're there, acknowledge them and like invite them to be a part of it. Not in just like, hey, you're welcome, like we're glad you're here, but like, hey, what piece of advice do you have? Like, get them to share and get them to bring value to it.
I like it.
So like I was able to grow the church stuff I did quite well because I didn't necessarily care to be the pastor on stage speaking. I would give my stage up for anybody who had a thought or something they wanted to share. And so then, I'd allow somebody to come and then or like I'd invite them to like share story or whatever, but they bring 10 of their friends because they're like, hey, I'm gonna be sharing my story. Do you guys want to come hear it? And then you got 10 more people that show up. Well, it's no different in the digital space either.
Yeah.
Well, no, and that's like this. I mean, it's like what last week's episode went crazy because Sarah's audience showed up.
Right.
That's why podcasting. That's why Gary Vee says start podcasting, start doing stuff like this, and then you can borrow the person's audience that you're interviewing or you're talking with.
Yeah.
Right.
And grow your community that way, as long as you're organic and not a douche about it.
Yeah. Well, it's funny that whole idea is this new platform that I'm launching in a few weeks called Unbranded, and it's basically the whole concept is I want business owners who don't have time to create content, who are terrible at marketing, to partner with other business owners who have the same audience member to share in marketing to that audience member and share all their own network within like a centralized media platform.
So you've generated the dating app for businesses.
I guess. Well, if you think about it, when like I'm an adult, I'm 38 years old, and I met my girlfriend a year and a half ago. When I started dating her, I basically became friends with her friends, and she became friends with my friends. That's what you're doing with the business.
Right. Yeah. So we've called it Unbranded, and the whole idea is that our first platform is going to be targeting car owners in Kelowna, in the city I live in, and so we'll get like one oil change company, one windshield company, one dealer, and then the idea is that they all come together on this one. We'll create a brand new web media site for them, and we will take all of their audience to share that content, from our one platform, and we'll create content that they can use and share on their own platforms. But basically, then the idea is like you get exponential reach, all targeting the same people, and you're in a non-competing sort of audience. So like we're not going to have necessarily like we might have different levels of members, but we're not going to have like 10 car dealers. We're going to have one car dealer or one oil change shop. Yeah, you can't have 10 girlfriends, right? You can only have one.
Right.
Well, and that's the concept behind like BNI network, the limited network groups.
Yeah. So BNI has been
in the digital space.
Right. So BNI is actually the concept is partly where I got this from. Understanding that they only allow one type of business within a group meeting, right?
Right.
And then I have a friend who works at a ski resort, and he was talking about how like all the marketing dollars they spend is like insane. And they did this experiment where they tried to collaborate with a couple other people, and it failed. But it failed only because they had no community behind it, and they spent like $100,000 this last year putting up print ads and all these different ads that like were kind of crazy. And anyway, so taking like the BNI concept and what I heard these guys were doing, I kind of came up with my own, and we're going to do an experiment here pretty quick. So I
dig it. I like that idea.
Yeah.
Well, we're hitting our 54-minute mark. Is there anything that you want to promote before we get off anything you're doing that you want the world to know?
Not really at this point. I mean, like I don't even I've got to get my own personal stuff going. At some point, I'll get my personal website going, and I really need to start documenting all these experiments. Like even like this friend of mine I was doing some coaching with a bunch of years ago. Like we started a business in a week, and made $480 in a week. I just wanted to prove to her that you could actually do it, and I didn't document any of it. Like we made the business and we did it, and like it was just a t-shirt company, but yeah, it was. So no, I don't have nothing to promote at this point. One day.
Well, if anybody does want to document anything, I did one today. View Edit, their Chrome plugin is fucking cool.
Yeah, I just downloaded that actually.
I just did a quick upload or build a product inside Printful and publish it to WooCommerce video. Oh my God, it's so much easier than trying what I did with trying to use what's that video program?
OBS.
Yeah. Oh my God, OBS! I wanted to fucking throw my laptop. It worked, but I was so pissed trying to get it to work. And I like the fact that I can just control the tab. I can record just the tab that I'm working in. So that's
And that,
if
is
you
that
want
that
to document
green?
stuff, yeah. So
Yeah.
green guy.
Green guy, yeah. Yeah, I just literally
That's it.
downloaded it like a couple days ago.
Yeah, it was cool. And if you look at our YouTube channel, I put the video up there.
Nice.
So it was if you want to document, especially web-based stuff, that's a really good tool to use.
Well, I mean that's the thing I've been like struggling with, right? Like, you know, we all listen to Gary Vee, and he's like document. Well, none of us have like dudes walking around with a camera, and most of us sit at our
He
desks all
does.
day. Well, yeah,
Ken
nice.
does.
They don't point cameras at me though. Come on.
Yeah.
But like we literally sit like how much like we probably mostly sit at our desks all day, and like how exciting is that? You know? So yeah.
We're not Gary Vee. We don't have a crew. I mean, yeah, we're sitting at a desk answering emails and
Yeah, it's just not exciting.
yeah.
And I've decided one day I'm gonna. So I actually did it one day as a joke. I'm gonna chest mount my GoPro, and I'm just gonna record my day. The problem is the battery on the GoPro only gets me like 2 hours. So yeah.
Get a
Nice.
battery pack and strap it to your back.
Yeah.
Do it.
But yeah, I
Keep
actually
it hot, but
Keep the bathroom scenes in there too.
yeah.
Well, we filmed last Thursday, I think we filmed the shot, and I had it on, and he's like, "Are you filming?" And I was like, "I mean, maybe. Does it make you uncomfortable?" He's like, "Kind of." Yeah, it's okay. It's all right. Yeah, it'll work out.
I love it. So we're going to promote a couple things. Join Hustle Labs. Join our group. Check it out on Facebook. It's facebook.com/groups/hustle labs. The link is on our website. We're going to promote our website, hustlelabs.com. You can sign up to get emails of when episodes go live and subscribe to the fucking YouTube channel. Yeah, hustlecondition.com. And subscribe to the damn YouTube channel. We're stagnant at 58.
Oh yeah, I was gonna ask. Nice. I think I was 19.
You were really early in. Well, and
Yeah.
I've got the link that I was posting is a nice little hack. If you copy in your YouTube channel and you put $sub_confirmation=1, it brings you the user automatically to a subscribe button on YouTube.
Nice.
They don't even have to find the subscribe button. It pops up on their display. Do you want to subscribe? Confirm channel subscription. So I want to see two subscribers, and if you're in Hustle Labs and you're watching this, add 2 people to the group tonight.
I like it. All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in. It's been real. Thanks for joining our Thursday nights.